Hey, best friends. Welcome to Teacher Stories Part 4. In this particular episode, I'm going to share one teacher story because it's a lot longer. But the reason I'm only sharing one is because this teacher's particular story, it encompasses a lot of things that we deal with as teachers that I kind of want to address. Shout out to her for allowing me to share her story, but we're going to call this episode of Teacher Stories Part 4, we're going to call this Nightmare Admin because that's pretty much what this entire thing is about. Okay, she said, I've debated sending this because for the longest time I felt like I was the only one and that what happened to me was my fault because I wasn't good enough. But since I found your channel and heard your stories you've shared from other teachers, I know I'm not alone. Listen, the gaslighting is real. We are a lot of times made to feel like we're not doing enough. And then when we try to do more, because we feel bad that we're told we're not doing enough, we try to do more. And then we're still told that we're not doing enough. And so this girl's story, I am just, when I first read this story, it literally made me so mad. Like some of y'all saw my Instagram story that I made after I read this story. And I was like, I was like driving to Target or something. I was stopped at a red light and I was like, this story that I just read while I was getting my oil change made me so mad. Cause this story just makes me so mad. So, okay, here we go. Here's best friend's story. I graduated with a Bachelor of Science in Middle Grades Education in May of 2008 from a university in North Carolina. I started teaching at a Title I middle school in August of 2008. Shout out to Title I teachers. I taught 7th grade science for 2 years. Now this is important because I want you to do the math because y'all know I don't do public math, but I just want you to pay attention to how old this girl is. Okay. I taught 7th grade science for 2 years. I was 22 years old when I started. My students were 10 years younger than me. I left after 2 years in June of 2010. I was given the option to resign or be fired. I resigned. Okay. Now, when y'all hear why she was given the option to resign or be fired, my blood is like boiling. Just the story itself just ticks me off so bad because sometimes admin has like no accountability, and like when you try to call the district or whatever and tell them your admin is crazy or they treat you some kind of way, then it gets back to your admin. Then there's retaliation. Like, where is the protection for the teacher? Like, none, but carry on. So she decided to resign, okay? Over that summer, I interviewed for 15 different teaching positions in 3 other counties. I did not get one single callback, okay? Wait until you hear why she didn't get any callbacks. One interview I went to was an hour and a half from my apartment. I did the hour interview, and at the end, the principal said, I have to be honest with you. I spoke with your previous principal about 10 minutes before you arrived, and based on what he told me, I have serious reservations about hiring you. But you came a long way. I wanted to give you the chance. Needless to say, I didn't get the job. So you mean to tell me, and I've read through this girl's whole story, okay, and she didn't do nothing wrong, okay? She didn't do nothing wrong. The school system failed her. Okay. So not only did this admin fail her, and I know people are like, oh my gosh, Honest Teacher Vibes always ragging on admin because some of y'all suck. Because some of y'all suck. I'm not talking to the ones that don't suck because there's some really good admin out there, but some of y'all admin, y'all suck. And this admin is one. Okay. He called, that's why this girl didn't get any callbacks. He called all of these different principals, all these schools this girl interviewed at, called around to tell them not to hire her. Trash talked her to all, like now you're messing with somebody's livelihood. Just because you don't like them, you don't like the way they do things, like why are you petty? Why are you petty? It sounds like a whole power trip to me. So then she said, so the principal that called around to all these schools to tell them not to hire her, okay, the principal that called was very unapproachable when he was my admin, as you have shared from your own experience. Listen, admin gets a bad rap for a reason, okay? Because some of y'all were good teachers, but that don't, just because you were a good teacher doesn't mean you're a good admin, okay? If we wouldn't be telling these stories if we didn't have these kinds of experiences with admin. So I have had people say, don't watch Honest Teacher Vibes on board teachers because she's a negative and she's always ragging on admin, and we don't need that kind of negative energy. Baby, you the negative energy. The admin is saying those kinds of things, okay? You're the negative. When the problem asks you what's the problem, you're the problem. But please do carry on, because some of y'all are unapproachable. Some of y'all as admin, please be approachable for your teachers, because recognize that you're already in a place of authority. Some people authority already makes them a little nervous, okay? So they're scared to come tell you when they have a concern or they have a problem. So please be approachable, okay? This is to the men and women, baby. This ain't just to the men, because some of the male principals, y'all be looking how y'all look, okay? And it makes you a little nervous, come say something to you. But this is to the female and the male principals. Please make yourselves approachable to your teachers, please. Please. Because some of y'all look like y'all can't stand none of us. And even if that's the case, I don't know, child. I don't know. But some of y'all are very unapproachable. She said, my first year went fine. I struggled with classroom management like a lot of first year teachers. Listen, first year teachers, the struggle is real, okay? Classroom management is hard. That first year to learn classroom management, to get your system down, okay? But hear me when I say this. Somebody gonna get mad when I say this, but I don't care. Sometimes when you go to admin and they're like, well, you need to work on your classroom management so you have so many behavior problems. Okay, listen, hear me when I say this. Sometimes it ain't got nothing to do with your classroom management. Them kids just bad. And I know there's some people out there that are like, there's no bad kids. When people be like, there's no bad kids. Yeah, okay. Sometimes I feel like when people say there's no bad kids, I wonder what kind of school y'all teach at when y'all say there's no bad kids, or if you have like a whole classroom full of angels, or like, I just when people say that, I laugh, okay? Because sometimes there are bad kids. Doesn't mean we trying to demonize the kids or anything like that, but sometimes them kids be bad. So it ain't always your classroom management, friend. Sometimes them kids just bad. Because I struggled with classroom management and because I struggled with my first year teaching, I was put on an action plan. The principal told me that he needed to see serious improvement during my second year or I would not have my contract renewed. Listen, the threats, child, okay? That teacher is already struggling with classroom management. She already struggling, and she's a first year teacher. And first year teachers, y'all just throw them up in there and y'all be like, here go your classroom, good luck, may the odds be ever in your favor. And here's the deal, the veteran teachers, sometimes like things are so chaotic and so crazy that veteran teachers forget to check on the first year teachers because everybody's busy. Everything is crazy. I'm not saying that's right, but before we just throw her on the action plan, can we do some things to help support her before you're like, your job is in jeopardy because your classroom management sucks? Like, can we get some support first? Okay, can we make sure that we have done everything that we can to support her as a first year teacher before we're like, you're on an action plan, either do better or you're fired for next year? Like, come on, fam. Who can work under that kind of pressure, especially as a first year teacher? Over the course of that year, I asked several veteran teachers to come observe me and give me suggestions. Now, that is very productive on her part, okay? That shows you a good first year teacher. You out here asking for help, you asking for advice, you asking veteran teachers to come and observe you. So that shows that she's a good teacher. She wants to learn, she wants help. Again, veteran teachers, sometimes we're busy. We can't, what I'm saying? Teaching sometimes is like on the job training, okay? Most of the time, because student teaching does help, but you don't necessarily have your own classroom as a student teacher. It's a lot more things that, there's a lot of things that are different, way different from student teaching to when you get your own classroom. Because I was on an action plan, the principal had to do my formal observation for the year. It's a day that I won't forget. Now, y'all wait. Y'all just wait. Child. Y'all just wait till y'all hear the rest of this foolishness, because my good Lord have mercy. Lord. My lesson started fine, but a fight broke out in the boys' bathroom right outside my classroom. The students involved were not my students, but they were from another 7th grade block. I kept my class of 30 students in my room so that they did not exacerbate the situation. Meanwhile, the principal is sitting in my room taking notes, not doing anything to stop the fight. Excuse me, hello? I have to turn it to Medea. Hello, what the hell are you doing? So you gonna sit there, you hear them kids out there fighting. You don't hear them kids out there fighting? You sitting here with your legs crossed and your fancy suit taking notes. Can you go help? It's in the boys' bathroom. She got a whole classroom of 30 kids. You not, so you don't hear them. This whole story made my pressure high, and I had to take some blood pressure medicine. But so he did not. I'm laughing to keep from crying because it's not funny, but I'm laughing to keep from crying. He told me, the principal, he told me after the fact that I did not do my job. So after the fight, only God knows who broke up the fight. I don't know. He told me after that I did not do my job, and told me that my job was to go and break up the fight. I was 23 years old, 5'1", and 120 pounds. I would have put myself in danger by trying to break up the fight. You gonna tell her she didn't do her job because she didn't go break up a fight of 7th grade boys in the boys' bathroom? Sir, you are a male, full-size, grown male adult. You go break up the fight. Like, did you have like a vendetta against it? Like, what is the problem? She 120 pounds, stopping wet, baby. Okay, and 5'1". And then if she would have left those 30 kids in there by themselves, then you would have had something to say. Either way, the girl couldn't win. Why would you tell? Why you are a male? You get up and go break up the fight. And not only are you a male, you're a freaking administrator. Don't tell her she didn't. I told him that I did not agree with his assessment of the situation. He told me that I had an unsatisfactory observation because of the situation. Sir, your behavior is unsatisfactory. Your administrative skills are unsatisfactory. Okay? Can you imagine how horrible he made her feel? I cannot imagine getting observed. A fight breaks out. I got 30 kids in my classroom. A fight breaks out in the boys' bathroom. I ain't going in there. It smelled like they pee on the floor and skate around in it. I ain't going in there. And then imagine how bad he made that teacher feel. That's like a no-win situation, and she's already intimidated. I can tell that teacher is, as a first-year teacher, is already intimidated by you, by some of the things that she previously said. No, sir. And then people are like, I don't know why teachers are quitting. Y'all, whew. Okay, so she said a few weeks later, the day I turned in my letter of resignation, who's surprised? I'm not surprised. Because the way you treated her, go ahead, turn in their resignation, baby. The day I turned in my letter of resignation, it was April. I told him that his expectations of me were unrealistic. Absolutely unrealistic. Absolutely unrealistic. Because where was the support and the aid? Okay? Now I know it's two sides to every story. Okay? And some people are like, well, how you know she's telling the truth? Because I'm a teacher. Because I've been through a similar situation. Because I know how it is. Anybody watching this story and listening that's an educator, they understand. So of course she turned in her letter of resignation. Why would anybody stay in a place that is demeaning, dehumanizing, and degrading to them? He said that in order for me to have kept my job, sir, I don't want it. That's why I'm turning in my resignation. I would need to be as good as the 30-year veteran teachers on my team. Why would you ever on Al Gore's internet compare a first-year teacher to veteran teachers? It didn't even matter if they're 30-year veteran teachers. Don't compare a first-year teacher to a fourth-year teacher. That's not fair. Why would you treat that girl like that? I told him I disagreed. I wasn't even 24 years old. I hadn't even been alive 30 years. How could he expect me to be as good as a 30-year veteran? Again, I said those expectations were unrealistic. He said that didn't matter. Those were his expectations. And if I didn't meet them, I wouldn't have a job. What in as Tony Baker would say, what in the haberdasheries of hemoglobins? What kind of sham are you running around here? Those your expectations? That is very dogmatic. That is very my way or the highway. I'm surprised more of your teachers didn't quit. How that work for you? I hope the principal that this teacher talking about, I hope you watching this right now. Cause why? Why? Did you sleep good at night? Did you sleep good at night? Did you have a good night's sleep treating people like this? Especially the first year teacher. Make you feel good. Talk to a 24-year-old like this. Make you feel good. Make you feel, I just want to know. As I stated, I handed in my letter of resignation that day. I gave notice and finished out the school year. June the 10th, 2010 was my last day. I have struggled with this decision for years. I'm sure you have, sweet friend. I've worked since I was 16, and every boss, every job I've ever had, they didn't want me to leave. They didn't want to see me leave, except for this one principal. My therapist that I've been seeing for 3 years actually diagnosed me with PTSD because that year teaching was so traumatic. I bet it was. I cannot imagine. Can you imagine going? And she finished out the school year. Good for you, baby. Because y'all already know my story. Baby. Because good for you. And I'm sure you did have PTSD from that situation. Nobody can walk through that kind of stress and anxiety. And not only the stress and anxiety, but the stress and anxiety of dealing with the students too, on top of having a crazy admin, on top of being a first year teacher, on top of not, really having a mentor to help you through your first year teaching. I'm sure she did have PTSD from that situation. The amount of teachers that have PTSD from the last 2 to 3 years of teaching is astounding. Y'all would be surprised at how many, the teachers that are watching this, you wouldn't be surprised because But the people who are not teachers, the amount of teachers that have PTSD from the last 2 to 3 years of teaching, especially this year, because y'all's kids, I don't know what they drank over last summer break or what, I don't know. But y'all's kids were off the chain this year, okay? The PTSD is real. This poor teacher, y'all. In addition, that same year, a student in my class tried to poison me with hand sanitizer. The drink was on my desk. Thankfully, I didn't drink from it. She thought it would be funny to see what happened. I got reprimanded because I shouldn't have had a drink in my room. Why? What kind of nightmarish principal? And that's not the first time that I've heard a teacher say that their principal told them they don't need to have anything to drink in their room. I'm sorry. We standing up teaching, cause we can't sit down. Standing up teaching all day, and we don't get any restroom breaks because we don't have time to go to the bathroom between IEP meetings to have a meeting to talk about the meeting, and covering classes. What you mean she can't have anything to drink? Y'all seen the episode of SpongeBob when Patrick and SpongeBob tried to go to Sandy's house, and Sandy was a squirrel from Earth, so she didn't need water, and SpongeBob and Patrick was sitting in there trying to act like they didn't need no water, and at the end SpongeBob was like, water, I need water. Like, that's how we sound at the end of the day if we don't get nothing to drink. What you mean she not supposed to have a drink in her classroom? She ain't in you better get that girl. Do you sleep good at night? I just want to know. Shouldn't have had a drink in her classroom. What is wrong with it? Some of y'all need to talk to somebody. Some of y'all admin to be treating these teachers like this. Like, what? Why? How can you in good conscience look somebody in the face and tell them they shouldn't have had a drink in their room? And then the child put some hand sanitizer in my drink, and I got reprimanded. We had a student at our school. I know these kids be doing this because we had a teacher at our school. A kid put hand sanitizer in his drink. Kid put hand sanitizer in his drink because he thought it was funny. What? Y'all kids, I want to know what y'all be doing with y'all kids at home. I want to know. Inquiring minds would like to know. And you're not even going to be surprised, best friend, when I tell you this next part. The student received no consequences, no punishment for putting hand sanitizer in that teacher's drink because she shouldn't have had a drink in her classroom. If y'all are wondering why teachers are leaving this year, why teachers are leaving in droves, okay? It's because lack of consequences for students and their poor behavior. It's a lot of other things too, but I'd say that's about number one. When I asked to have the student removed from my class, I was told the student wasn't the problem, I was the problem. I emphasized that this student put my health at risk, and I respectfully asked for her to be moved. Nothing happened. The kids are protected, the teachers are not. Lack of respect, lack of consequences. So not only did the child put their hand sanitizer in her drink and didn't receive any consequences, because kids, if they don't get no consequence, they just gonna do stuff again. Like, but you told her she was the problem. Like, what is your vendetta? Like, I want to talk to this principal. Who are you? I might message the girl and be like, what's his name and what school? Because I just want to talk. I just want to talk. I just want to talk. What school he at? I just want to talk. Okay? I just want to ask you a couple questions. Okay? I just want to talk to you about your car's extended warranty. Okay? I just want to talk. And I've had, as y'all know from my story that I shared on YouTube, I've had times where I felt unsafe with a student and I wanted them moved. Because it's hard for you. Imagine how hard it was for that teacher to go back in that classroom with that student. The girl put the hand sanitizer in her drink, thought it was funny. Nothing happened to the girl. Now the teacher got to go back in there with her. Imagine the emotions and how it would feel for you to have something like that done. Nothing happens to the child. And when you ask for the child to be placed in another class because it doesn't make, you don't necessarily feel safe, they're like, no, the child ain't the problem, you the problem. Y'all think, some of y'all that aren't teachers, y'all probably think this whole story is a lie. Or y'all probably think parts of this story are a lie. The people who are teachers, we know it's true. You know it. Come to find out, the year after I left, there were several teachers in other counties that had been poisoned with hand sanitizer and actually had to be hospitalized. Right, because you can't drink hand sanitizer. That's a very serious thing. Why would that principal not take that seriously? You can't just put hand sanitizer. You can't put hand sanitizer in somebody's drink, baby. Things that you would think you would not have to say as a teacher. Hey, you can't put hand sanitizer in people's drinks. Things you would not think you would not have to say to a principal. Hey, that student, I wonder why did they not get in trouble for putting hand sanitizer in my drink? I just want to know. What school he at? I just want to talk. What school he at? I'm gonna call the girl. I'm gonna message her on IG. Hey, friend, what his name is? What school he at? I just want to talk. Thankfully, as a result of leaving my teaching job, I was able to go back to school and earn my master's in teaching. I finished in July of 2012, and I was hired to teach at the community college in August of 2012. Good for you, best friend. Good for you. Because sometimes it's hard to choose to leave. Sometimes it's hard to stand up for yourself. But good for you that you were able to leave and able to get out of a negative situation like that. But just know this. The way that principal treated you, that was not okay. Like, where was the accountability for him? Where was his accountability? The way the way that he treated you was not right. The fact that your concerns were unheard, the fact that your concerns were ignored, that is not okay. That's not okay. Community college that this teacher said she left to go to. She said, I've been there ever since, and it's been like my dream job. I'm teaching. I love my students. I have more autonomy and support from my department supervisor. She actually cares about me. She knows that observations make me nervous because of my past experience, and she makes it a point to tell me that I have nothing to worry about. She knows I'm an excellent teacher. Y'all, I'm so, the teacher that shared this story, thank you for having the courage to share it with me. You are absolutely not alone. After hearing that teacher's story, imagine how many teachers are just like her, dealing with admin just like that. That the admin is either my way or the highway. And some of these admin, they be cussing at these teachers. A girl I used to work with said admin cussed at her. But I ain't the 1, 2, or 3. Okay? Don't cuss at me, because we both grown in here. I'm not a child, don't cuss at me. But imagine how many teachers are dealing with admin like that. Because where is the accountability? Because sometimes admin is just a good old boys club and nothing happens to them. And that's not right. That's not right. And sometimes when you bring the concern to the district, somehow the principal finds out and now they retaliate. Like, it's not okay. It's not okay. But hear me when I say this. I'm going to keep sharing y'all stories because, again, I don't work for the district anymore. I don't work for any school anymore. So I can say whatever I want to. And I'm going to call y'all out because this ain't right. I'm going to keep calling y'all out. Like loud. And like loud. To where some of y'all going to be like, oh my God, Miss Teacher Vibes because she always calling us. No, I'm going to call y'all out. parents, admin, the district. I'm gonna call y'all out. Be mad. If you mad, put on a cape so you can be super mad. Because it's not right how some of these teachers are treated. It's not right. I got hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of stories in my inbox. Just like that one, just like some of the ones I've shared on Teacher Stories Part 1, 2, and 3. It's not right. So until something changes, I'm going to keep on putting y'all on blast, and I don't feel no kind of way about it. Teacher besties, I know I keep saying this every time, but even I'm trying to figure out what we can do. I promise. I ain't forgot about y'all. I'm trying to figure it out. But until I figure out something actionable to do, this my action putting y'all on blast. Because the world needs to hear. And I've had teachers message me from other countries and say, it's not just in the U.S. This happens all over the world that teachers are treated like this. So I'm going to keep putting y'all on blast. People are going to keep sending me their stories. And I want parents, administrators, district officials, senators, whatever, all y'all people that can do something about this. I'm going to keep putting these teacher stories out there. Because I want you, when you hear some of these teacher stories, I want you to be like, oh, gosh, let me make sure I'm not treating my teachers like that. Let me make sure my teachers in my district don't feel like that. Let me make sure, because I want you to make sure, because this is not okay. Something has got to change, and this is not okay. Now, to my teacher besties, I love y'all. Thank y'all for letting me share your stories. If you have a story that you want me to share, you can send it to honestteachervibes@gmail.com. Don't send it to IG besties, because I message y'all back and forth on IG and we be chitting and chatting, but I get a lot of messages on IG, so don't send it on IG. If you want me to share your story, you can send it to honestteachervibes@gmail.com. Love y'all besties. Hope you enjoy your summer break. If you're not on summer break yet, oh my God, I hope you make it to the end. Okay? Love y'all. Y'all my people.